process, if you think of what the process is going to be, there will be a citizens committee appointed by the school board. Each school board member will appoint maybe 3 to 5 individuals to serve on a citizens committee. That citizens committee will work independently along with using the tools of the Superintendent's Association up in Tallahassee. They will work independently. They will assess the needs of Franklin County. They will look at what are the qualifications that we need for somebody in our school system, qualifications, skills, experience. So it will be a citizens committee that will do the search, and then we'll come up with 5 candidates, 3 to 5 candidates that's to be decided, but we'll come up with those candidates, and then those candidates will be presented to the school board. Then the school board will make the decision, but it will be your citizens that are working to find the person.
Who will be the superintendent's boss?
A hired superintendent, the boss is the school board, because that's what you finally have. Right now, the way we have it, we've got the superintendent elected here, we've got the school board elected here. They're working at odds. They are not working together. If the school board sets the policy, the superintendent can do anything that they very well please. If you have a hired superintendent, it is the school board that sets the policy and says, this is what we want done. It is up to the superintendent to manage the schools. And believe me, if we have a hired superintendent, those of us who are very much interested, we will be watchdogs, and we will make sure that that school board is doing its job to see that the superintendent is doing what the citizens of Franklin County want done in that hired superintendent.
I have a question written for the Southerland campaign. On the issue of Social Security, Steve Southerland wants to prioritize this. Why and how would that benefit the American citizen? Mason?
I absolutely don't know, but I will tell you. but I will tell you, it doesn't make any sense because his parents are both seniors, and I don't know why he would take anything away from them. So,
I can answer that.
okay, great. Come up here, Dottie, and help me out.
He went along with the idea of privatizing the Social Security for the 20s to 30-somethings. They can either opt into the regular Social Security plan or program, or they can opt out and individualize it. That was the difference. It doesn't touch anybody at 50 years old.
I have a question for the Graham campaign that relates to the earlier question. If you can give us an overview of Glenn Graham's position on Social Security.
Yes, I can. Glenn views Social Security and Medicare as a promise that this country has made to its seniors. She wants to protect it. Any specifics, I don't really want to speak about. I'm not that familiar with. If I can rename the number, though, I can pass that along. But generically, she wants to protect the promise.
Question for both the Southerland and Graham campaigns. In lieu of the current situation in the Apalachicola Bay, how does your prospective candidate plan to rectify, bring attention to, or offer suggestions for the approval of the situation here?
No fair, but I'll try. Well, as I said earlier, he was co-sponsor of the Restore Act bill, and that gives him the influence to bring more funds here. He also was instrumental in bringing $6 million in disaster relief funding with Debbie and Isaac, and because it was storm related, they were able to bring in the money from the federal government. I think the Southerland position is anything is to empower the local people and get rid of all this government bureaucracy. I think whatever the locals will do, he will support. His job is to bring whatever he can from the fence down, but I'm not sure the management portion would be his call. Thank you.
In regards to Gwen Graham's position on the matter, she at first did not support the lawsuit, and as her experience from being an attorney, she does not think a lawsuit is the way to bring people together. A lawsuit is not usually a positive thing. Now that the lawsuit has been filed, she is in favor of it passing. She wants to be successful now that it has been filed, but she didn't think that was the right thing to do. She wants to reach across party lines and make it
The
happen.
Southerland campaign and the race for Congress, it seems that the Southerland camp seems to think the campaign is all about Obama and what they perceive he's done wrong. Can you address those issues?
Well, I think it goes back to the negative campaigns. I think they dig up anything, and I think that that's all the hope and change and how that's been working for everybody. Some people it has hurt. I think the Republican side of the House has passed a lot of bills, and there's a lot of holdup in the Senate with Harry Reid. So I think President Obama, being the leader, takes the heat and should take the heat because the votes is not there. So I think they're all trying to reach across the aisle, and I think Southerland is part of it. So, but you know, the president, whoever is in office, is easy to pick on. So he's just.
In regards to President Obama in this race, I think we can see it nationally that that's what Republicans are trying to do. They're trying to nationalize all Democratic candidates. We here at the Graham campaign are focusing locally. As we know, President Obama is not on the ballot. We are here in all 14 counties. We are hearing from the citizens of Florida's 2nd Congressional District. We just see with Republicans trying to tie it to President Obama, trying to make it national, you know, saying his unpopularity. We're here focusing on citizens. That's what I would say.
Jim, I have a big tax question for you.
Good.
First, you say that the tax does not affect the locals, more the tourists. Did I just say
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
So what exactly is tax? Hotels or? You said, I didn't hear, sorry. Tell us, what will be
When I come
taxed?
to town, I spend the night at Water Street Hotel, Gibson Inn, whatever. They pay right now 2% tax. Say that the cost for the room is $100, say $2 goes to the TDC. For the TDC to use those funds to market us, bring more of those people. What we want to do is bring it to 4%, which means that $100 room, $4 goes to the TDC. We're doubling, which is huge.
This is hotels.
All bed tax, heads on bed. Well, there's two biggies. One is if we get this passed and we bring more tourists here, as I said, we create jobs. So we're going to create jobs for the community. The other thing is that we know right now with the research, currently, with the tourists coming in, spending their money, generating taxes, we're saving these individuals, we're saving these individuals approximately $300 a year on our tax.
The state of Florida and mapped it out. The counties that have switched over to the hired process and then marked the grades. We took the counties that are still elected, which is mostly the panhandle and the top and some spotty around Miami, that still have the elected, and took those grades. There are no counties in Florida with the hired superintendent that have an F grade or a D grade. They are all C's, A's, and B's. Yes, sir.
My question though is not, because that could be demographic, I mean, that could
Correct.
be demographically influenced. One of the top two districts in the state are Apalachicola, which is elected, and St. John, which is higher. So my question is, a county, it doesn't necessarily have to be Florida, a county that was elected and switched to higher, is there any evidence to show that they improved?
It's so hard to pinpoint because there are some counties that have never had elected. There are some counties that just switched. There are some counties that switched last year. So we did not go through that huge process, to be honest. No, we did not pinpoint that. We did the state of Florida, and that was one of the processes that we went through.
To me, that's pertinent information
Yeah.
in my decision.
Right, we are, because there's a lot of issues that go into that school grade. Right.
16 different aspects.
Factors to, that are built into our grade.
But I'm not necessarily just talking about grades. I'm talking about the whole demeanor and direction of the school.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you have a brand new CEO come in, it's similar to the process of when you have a new principal come in. Do you remember the feeling at the beginning of each school year? Do you remember all the hope that everybody has? This year's going to be different. I mean, I remember feeling it for the last 2 years. Okay, this year we are going to do a better job. We're going to do a great job. All the students are going to, make A's. We have that hope every time that someone new comes in to infuse that excitement, to infuse the knowledge. If somebody comes in with an education background, management background, a finance background, who can answer all the questions, who can meet all the deadlines, why wouldn't the excitement catch on? I mean, that builds morale tremendously. It depends on the leader.
That's the most important job in this county.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's one job, no doubt about that.
That's why we shouldn't be so focused on that letter grade, because I would like to retain more students. That's just 1%.
How would you respond to a voter that says this? You're probably creating a situation where a superintendent would be appointed and would come from elsewhere. And I'm more comfortable with giving up a local person with direct hands-on connection with teachers and students for that, burden.
He asked the question, I don't know if everybody heard that. Why should I be willing to give up a local person in that job? Number one, any Franklin County resident can apply for the job if it turns into a higher position. And their application will be in the same big net as everybody else. To be perfectly honest, one of the cons that Dr. Blanton brought up was, that's what you actually lose, is that superintendent person who is from Franklin County, knows the people, knows the teacher, knows the students, knows the culture. That was the biggest con that he brought up. But what are you getting in return for that? We think it's a better situation, maybe that spark that needs to lead our consolidated schools.
Question on the sales tax issue. If the additional tax passes, what will change in the administration or in the way that the tax is used, or are those directives still the same?
That oversees the like the bookkeepers, the gatekeepers, they work for the TEC board. Currently, that's their grant entities. They've been asked to come back for additional years. The administration remains exactly the same. TEC board, income commission, provided them back. So the only good thing that happens is we'll have a whole lot more money. We have to do a lot more marketing. We have to do a lot more tourism.
How much money do y'all spend on that if you get this increase?
I'm sorry.
Y'all being business owners, how much do y'all have to spend on you if you get this increase
How do we get where the taxes come from?
Yeah, I can get this tax money. Y'all being business owners, that means y'all don't have to put nothing in the top for the advertisement to go.
No.
So y'all just make y'all money, don't have to put nothing in the top.
That's why it's generated through a vet tax.
So all you trying to tell me that you just making money and putting this thing around here, putting this in a bed tax up, where y'all can keep y'all money, don't have to spend on advertising.
No, I'm telling you, it's even better than that. We're doing this so you don't have to pay tax. And so you can benefit.
Okay, now, you talking about these dollars. Where do these dollars go to? You say jobs. Everything stopped at Avenue D.
Well, that's an issue. It is. I mean,
So the county commission still has the final say in where those dollars are spent, and so perhaps that is an issue
I'll
for,
clarify one thing real quick. The current administration, they serve as administrators to the TDC board. We have a 7-member board that has representatives from all across the county. Every section of this county is represented. They're an excellent group of people. They make the decisions on how the money is going to be spent as a group, and they direct Mr. Blair and his administration to do it. Now, at any point in time, the county commission has the right to make the change. Joe?
The thing, one thing is, it's set by state statute, money can be spent, and that doesn't change by the amount. But it is determined in the statutory guidance that comes from the state. It has to be spent the way that that's set.
And there's a good bit of freedom.
I understand that, what you're talking about, sir, but what I'm talking about. So actually, whoever the business owners are, so they don't have to put money in the pocket.
Tourists that come into the county, they take money.
See, question. You said that this produces jobs. What kind of jobs? Service jobs? Low-paying jobs?
We hope more than that, but yes, that would be the majority of the shoe that we hope would be produce jobs, but they would be service jobs. Yeah. Some jobs are a whole lot better than none.
True.
How different this jobs?
Yes.
You can look at the research, I don't have it with me, you can also go on to 85 tourists in this town generally one job. So you can do the math. But then it's also the issue of if we get people here from September to March when it's kind of quiet, then we don't have to close down half our business. We don't have to send people.
But there'll still be seasonal service jobs, right?
Let's get away from season. Let's do it all year long. We can do that. We can do it.
So what do you all do in promoting local functions? What does the TDC do for, like, Black History Festival we have? What does the TDC do for us? They do. They do.
every year that we've had the every year that the off-season grant has been available, Apalachicola has applied and been awarded that grant, as well as we also benefit from the national advertising that the TDC and the county does to promote the African American History Festival. Question from the audience one more time. I have a question for the Graham and Southerland campaigns. You have local offices now. If elected, will your candidate continue to have office hours in offices in Franklin County?
That's actually a really great question. I do not know, I don't want to speak to that. What we see across Florida, and Congressman Southerland does the same thing. They have main offices in Tallahassee, Panama City, the major population centers, and then the staff does, it's called office hours, is what Congressman Southerland calls them. It's like mobile or office hours, where the staff will come out to an area in the county. I would assume it would be the same thing. I don't know for sure, but that's usually the congressional model we look across.
That's probably ditto. No, he rotates around. I don't think he has an office here now.
Does he come to Franklin?
He comes quite often. Yes.
A question for the superintendent's election, superintendent's race, the timeline. Now, 2016 is the next time we have superintendent change, correct? If at the election we do a hire that wins, what's the timeline and the time we voted yes, we want to hire? How much time is involved in getting the committee together and doing all that they do to the point that the committee is narrowed down to 5 candidates and then we have that person? What's that timeline?
That's going to be, it's going to occur so that we have that 2 years. We have 2 years so that Ms. Nymarks can go ahead and finish out her term.
Right.
And then at that point, that gets 2 years, that search can go, the committee can be selected, the search can take part, and then have everything in place, including the type of contract or basis for the contract that's going to be, determining qualifications and the state board, school board association is going to be working with that committee in order to set these out.
Actually, this isn't something that just happened off the cuff. After being on the board for a while and looking around and realizing that there are some issues that, in that position, sometimes that politically the superintendent faces. Give for example, say you have a particular child that's, you're looking to have to discipline or whatever. I could see where issues play in as far as that's a Shiver child, that's a Creamer child, that's not Simmons child. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes decisions that need to be made, tough decisions, are sometimes politically controlled. Okay? Take into consideration when you have a first year superintendent that does not have all the skill sets necessary for that position, which is the leadership skills, the education background, and the financial background. If you have somebody who runs for that position, like we said, all the qualifications you need is to be 18 and eligible to vote. If somebody ran for that position that had all the qualifications but was not popular or was not second or third generation from here, but there was an individual with the correct last name that ran, even though that person may not have all the skill sets. I mean, I've been in this county my entire life. I've seen it happen too many times, I know. Superintendent to me is the most important position in this entire county. We employ more people than any other job in this county. Now, the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, if you were the board on Walmart, you're not going to hire somebody or elect somebody into a position to run your $23 million business with, over 200 staff, over 900 students, that's not qualified and does not fit all the criteria. My personal opinion, like I said, and I want to make sure that everybody understands, I'm not speaking on behalf of the board. I'm speaking on behalf of Pam Shiver as a concerned citizen, as a concerned grandparent, that I want our children to have the best quality education they can have. If you have somebody that fits all of those skill sets, and fits the needs of our county, and we're able to hold that person accountable to bring those skill sets to this county, then possibly we could bring in the trade and the commerce that we need in this area that's going to complement the trade, or the commerce, the TDC. One of the biggest things, well, when I first started in exploring all this, I went to somebody who I highly respect and asked, okay, your former job was to rebuild businesses. What did you do? You always start at the administrative level. That's what he told me. And then you work your way down. Okay? Taking into consideration the situation with the TDC, and any people that's been in a position where they have to bring somebody into this county will tell you the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look at the hospitals and they're going to look at the schools. I'm sorry to say, and I think that we have wonderful schools, I think we have wonderful teachers, that people look at our grade and they look at, our position, 15% I think from the bottom as far as quality education in U.S. statistics, and it's determined. They don't want to come here. They don't want to bring their commerce here. They don't want to bring their families here. That discourages me, which is why I wanted to implement, or I wanted to encourage an opportunity for this county to change the system that we currently use. I don't think it's the quick fix. I don't think it's the fix all. I'm not going to sit here and say I think this is going to fix the problem, but I will say this, that we're in a position now where you have a governance over here and a governance over here, and we're supposed to be working towards the same goal. And if we implement a policy that you have a superintendent that has their own agenda, I'm not saying that's the current situation, I'm saying if that happens, then we're not working together to better the quality
quality and education questions. We'll start with, I think it's Croom.
I used the phrase, timeline, that's not what I meant. What I want to know is, a hired superintendent, will there be, let's say for instance, an elected superintendent, 4 years? Okay, will the hired superintendent also be 4 years, 2 years, you know? Or is it just, you would determine how long that person stays by the job that they do?
Under the current standards, as an elected official, the only way that you can be excused from office is for reasons of malfeasance or, okay. As a hired superintendent, it's going to be based on a contract. I think 3 years is what they suggest as normal, yeah, average. And the good thing about it is that we can work together, set goals, and set timelines. If it comes to a time that we realize that that person is not fitting the needs of our school, and under the hired superintendent, that person can be released.
That was my question. If they didn't meet your expectations, I mean, anything to look good on paper, but get in there and do the job, if they don't live up to your expectations or what you require. And I was gonna ask, was there a probation period or, you said 3-year contract?
That's the suggested, yes, it's 3 years.
Well, who decides if you say suggested? Who decides how many years? It's
We're going to get with the board, the advisory committee.
Not our committee, the advisory committee that's selected by.
That's what I mean, it was, yeah, the 18 to 21 people hired in the committee.
Correct, it's not.
Okay.
With input by the community.
And
So
it's
do y'all bring that up by, do y'all work with, y'all work with them, the school board on that, on fire?
Well, you have 3 years versus 4 years. So if you elect a superintendent, you have 4 years. If you hire someone, appoint someone, it's versus 3 years. Now, Mr. Wayne Blevin did come down and he says that the smaller counties has not gone with being appointed or hired. They almost likely they've stayed with elected. 42 county is elected and 25 is appointed, okay? There's no statistics that shows that there's been no change in the grade or anything done differently that was a drastic change because you hired a superintendent. So I just want to give you those statistics out there, but I do have brochures here that I brought with some information on it that you can take back home and read over, and then you make form your own opinion about it.
We have had a great dialogue here tonight. We don't want to keep you. We know that some of you have to travel and the weather is a bit bad. So we're going to thank our panel. We want to thank all of you for being here. You can use 5 minutes. If it takes that long, no more. You can use your 5 minutes if you'd like to wrap up, to tell us anything that you'd like for us to take home with us, anything that you would like for us to remember, how we can reach those kinds of things.
Okay. I guess what I would like just to wrap up with is just to go over again some of the pros about the hiring of a superintendent. The qualifications, again, we could require that they have qualifications that would meet the needs of the school in the areas of education background, financial management, leadership skills. We'd be able to set the criteria and find that person. And we would have a choice of doing it statewide, regional, or even going nationwide so that we can make sure that we find those skills. With that, in this way to select it, the best qualified applicant will be chosen through the process that we already discussed, the procedure we're using, the citizens committee, to help the board come down with to review the applicants, choose the best qualified, pass that on to the board, which then they do a final interview, and then those 3 to 5 people, the selection will come from those 3 to 5 people. Accountability. I feel that this is a way to put accountability into the system. Right now, currently, there really is no accountability. But I'll just leave it at that. And I also think that it would help take the politics out of the school system. I know that I have a 6-year-old child, and I'm concerned. I want him to be able to get the skills that he needs to go on to college, if I can afford it, to have the skills that he can get into a good college. And then if he chooses to come back here, then he would bring those skills and that education back to this community. If not, then maybe he could just come back, for visits. But there's going to be a certain set of kids that are going to want to stay in this county because it is a great place. I'm not 1 or 2 generation families here, but I love this area and I'd like to make it my community. And part of that is to care about the kids that are in this school, because it's going to be the kids and the education system that's going to make this county grow. And the economy, as Pam had already said, that people, one of my first questions when I came here was, what's the education system like? And it didn't sound good. Since I've been here, a lot of people that I meet, and these are locals, a lot of people that I meet, they talk about the education system. I know that to attract companies down here, they're going to provide the jobs that you're looking for, not the service jobs, but jobs that really mean something, so that people can have, they can put money into their homes, they can educate their children. Those are the type of jobs that we need to come down into this community. And if it's not based on the education system, that is the basis of a community, is the education, and it's a strong education system. I guess that's all I have to say. So, thank you.
Can we all give them a big round of applause for organizing this? And thank you, community members and community leaders, for coming out on this beautiful night here in North Florida. I just want to humbly ask for everyone here to support Gwen Green. She is an independent leader. She's going to stand up to both parties when it's right and it's wrong for North Florida. She talks a lot about the North Florida way. We see on her signs. That is a common sense solution, reaching across the aisle for North Florida. When it's not right, it's not politically right. It's what her dad did. It's exactly what she's going to do. We need to send her there for the values that she represents: job creation, equal pay for equal work. We recently came out with a Graham economic plan. It's a 5-point plan. You should all read it. When all those jokes that should be on your bedside, read when you wake up, it's the best thing ever. No. But it's about some of the major points I want to talk about. Is she talks about universities, leveraging all of our universities and our community colleges here for job creation, so students like me can get jobs when we come out. They are great universities, but we can do even better. That's the major part of the Graham economic plan. She also just came out last week with the Graham Sunshine Plan. It's about restoring trust in government. As we all know, Congress is 4%, 3% popularity. There's tons of jokes out there with what's more popular than Congress. We're not even going to go there. But we need to restore the trust. And Gwen is the one person who's going to do that. Obviously, that's not going to change the 435-member body, but she's the start. There's a recent article out there in the New York Times that just came out this weekend. If we do like 50 Gwen grants, that would be a start. That's another thing. She's also fighting for Apalachicola Bay. She just held a fisherman's town hall here 2 weeks ago. To answer the question, will she be here? Will she have an office here? She's going to be here all the time. It's going to be a major focus of her staff. Again, I humbly ask for your support. God bless everybody. Drive safe and stay dry.
Representative Steve Sullivan. Once again, he's got a proven track record. He will continue to fight for veterans. He will continue to fight for seniors, and he will continue to fight for Apalachicola Bay. Do we need to change? I think that his track record and his positive attributes. His family's been in North Florida. He's a small business owner. He's here. He's here for us. You can call him on the phone, talk to him. He just called me tonight. That's pretty cool. So I hope you vote for him. We've got some signs, got some bumper stickers. If you feel so urged to take those and put it in your yard, we sure appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd like to really thank H. Cole for putting this forum on. You guys, this is really good. I wish we could do more of this in the community, not only Appalachia, all over the county. It's a really good thing. I'm only going to take 2 minutes, not 5. You're gonna see a lot of us in the next couple of weeks up to the election. We've got yard signs over here. If you want some when you leave, they're available. When you see these things all around town, you'll know what it's for. You vote for that increase 2%. We've got 7,000 of these little guys going out to all registered voters in the county. We've got ads coming out in the paper every week from here on up to the election, and then we've got like 200 or 300 radio announcements that are going to be going on. So, thanks a bunch for the opportunity. This is really great. I appreciate you guys.